We do this for the generation. The generation. We do this for the generation. The generation. Generation. Breaking chains for the generation. Rise up, we gon' make it happen, just tellin' that time's up. Breaking chains, make a chain while running them bands up. Suiting ties, you the vibe, depositing grands up. Educating on the millions, come on, let's make a million. We in business buying building, that's how we gon' raise the ceiling. Living legends, what we building. Legacy for our children, did you feel it in your spirit? You speaking, I know you hear it. Lord, rise up, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Rise up, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Come with me. Chain breakers, we break from poverty. Chain breakers, we break from enemies. Chain breakers, breaking chains off.
Greetings, salutations, blessings, and all that other good stuff. What's happening, family? It's yours truly, MJ, along with her,
Lady Des.
And we are the Shenanigans Crew, and you are tuned in to Conversations with them two. And tonight we have a very special guest who I think is missing in action right now. But tonight is very special.
The camera for the introduction.
There we go. We have a very special show tonight that involves Legacy Lives Here Inc. with none other than the founder, the visionary himself, the Reverend Dr. Mr. Glenn Payne. Hey, family, how you doing?
Hey, I ain't no reverend. I ain't no doctor. Stop lying about me. I ain't no reverend or doctor. Well, actually, hold on. Let me rewind. I ain't no reverend, but I'm a doctor. Loading. It's loading.
Okay. Well, sir, maybe not by an official title, maybe not by a degree, but by all means, you are definitely reverend. How about that?
I'm gonna let you go because as we call you bestie, I ain't gonna fight you, bestie.
Glenn, how are you?
I am incredible. I'm incredible tonight. I'm happy to be here on this platform, talking about Rise Up, talking about my family, MJ and Lady Des.
Thank you. We want to definitely welcome you back to the platform. And those of you who actually know MJ and I, or who have followed us in the past, you know that we are very intentional about educating and bringing awareness to our community. We're usually out there and involved into our community. And one of the things that we have noticed is the lack of financial literacy in our communities. And we're just so happy to be a part of the Rise Up Summit, Legacy Lives Here, Inc., and what Mr. Glenn Payne is doing to educate our community about leaving generational wealth for their families, their children, and also financial literacy. You know, how to keep good credit, how to get good credit, how to maintain it, and what that looks like, right? And Glenn, I'm going to share something with you. I remember me being in a nail shop, and this guy came in all irate because I don't know who ruffled his feathers, but he ended up saying, they know in our community, Black people don't have no credit. And I looked up, I'm like, I beg the pardon, because my credit ain't bad. But that is the stigma in society. Even our own people feel that all Black people don't have good credit, and that's not true. And Legacy Lives Here Inc. and the Rise Up Summit brings great speakers from all around to teach our community. Listen, and if you have good credit and you're from the Black community or any type of minority community, it's nothing to be ashamed of. That's something to be very proud of. So, Glenn, I just want you to take it from here and just share what Legacy Lives Here is all about and what the Rise Up Summit as well.
Most definitely. Rise Up World Summit. Our mission is changing lives generation by generation through the families, through tools, techniques, and things that we teach people, and especially the younger generation, because we realize we can impact the parents, but when it comes to the children, that's the best place to start, because they can also learn the skill set to make their lives better. But go back to mom and dad and hold them accountable, because we've had it before. A few parents came back and says, what did you teach our kids? Because they're now trying to tell me, Mom, you don't need that purse, you can wait. Like, I'm the mother, but he's telling me, no, I can't buy the purse because you got to pay light bill first. So those are things that we're seeing in our community, where the children are learning and now correcting and trying to help their parents to do better in their financial purposes.
Well, that's awesome. And you're absolutely right, to reach out to that next generation, because it seems like they do have a better understanding in putting priorities first. I think us as parents and our forefathers and those that came before us, a lot of them, they did leave a legacy. I think back in the day, they have left more of a legacy and leaving land and different things for their family. However, I don't know where that break came in as far as that generational breaking, but it seems like it picked up into the next generation of our children. But I was very intentional in teaching my children at home about putting their priorities first, when they receive their first credit card, about credit and not letting anybody else use their name or buy anything off of their credit, because now that is their building stage. And I know that at last year's Wealth Summit, you did do a class or a course for teenagers.
Yes, we
Before
did.
you answer, Glenn,
We actually have a new division now. Go ahead.
Before you answer, it wasn't just you, because I would be remiss if we did not talk about Lady Alphesia as well. So we got to give a shout out to her, because, beside every great man stands a great woman.
Absolutely.
So you did it, but she was right there, every step of the way in the trenches. Okay, now go ahead.
You're funny, because I'm sure she's back right now in the other room, like, smile. Oh man, I told you, she ain't playing, bro. Glenn, rise up. Rise up is her rise up. So if you want to go back and pass in the whole thing in the historical area, my wife and I actually co-founded Legacy Lives Here many years ago. So the story of Legacy Lives Here was a bit peculiar. We started off doing Dave Ramsey FPU class, which is basically Financial Peace University in our local church. And we did it to our local members. Then one day I felt the need to expand it by having people outside the church can come into the building and do the classes. One thing led to another till the class grew so big that it couldn't fit in the classroom anymore. And I felt the urge to do it like a small workshop. The first workshop was called generational something. I can't remember the exact name. And I remember my wife and I took our grocery money and we bought the food.
Wow.
That was not a wisdom, but we wanted to do so much for the community that we decided to give ourselves and provide. My wife, we're from the Islanders. We don't give sandwiches. We cook. We give you hot food for your events. Even up until today, we still serve hot food. We did all that. It grew into another event until the term becomes a conference called the Legacy Conference. For about 5 years, that was a name and was thriving. In the last 2 years, we changed it from previously Legacy Conference to Rise Up Wealth Summit. The reason why we chose to change the name was because we saw a need on shift where God was telling us it's time to raise. So Rise Up Wealth Summit basically means raising up a generation towards biblical strength and wealth, generational wealth provisions. So for me, we knew that we could not just focus on the adults. That's why we opened up a whole new division on the Rise Up Wealth Summit called Rise Up Wealth Youth Summit. So it's 2 events taking place in one day, in one building, 2 different auditoriums. So when you walk in the main area, you will see 2 areas. You walk into the lobby, there's for the adults, there's for the teenagers, and they have their own particular facilitators working with them. So for the kids you mentioned, we're going to have a pitch competition. We're going to have a person talking about pitch, how to do business pitching, how to do real estate, working with real estate investments. going all into life insurance, not life insurance, but investments, entrepreneurship, because the next generation, they don't want to work for nobody. They want to run their own business. So we're going to teach them to open their own businesses to build generational wealth.
Awesome. Awesome. Go ahead.
As of the last conference that we attended, I was really impressed because one of the facilitators had said, you know what, my 12-year-old son now owns 2 homes, and I'm like, at 12 years old, he's already on his way to having his legacy established and built, because it's already cemented. So, when you start to instill in young people at that age, it does nothing but prosper and grow.
Listen, that same young man you're talking about, as of today, his things have changed. He's no longer 2 homes. He has his own clothing line, his own, he has investment accounts. He has a 700 plus credit score, and he's only in that age bracket, and already owns additional properties in real estate and also Airbnb.
And you know what? There are also young kids now that are day trading in stocks and making big money. Yes. So and you have that as well. You had someone talking about stocks and bonds, day trading, just teaching us and giving us little tidbits on that. Y'all may not know, but I'm so into day trading and stocking and stuff like that. So that right there was like amazing to me because I love that stuff.
Yes. This year we won't have Dr. Jessica, but we're going to do a little thing different because we realized that people were hungry to learn more about this, but in that half an hour, 45 minutes, it was not possible to fully digest everything she was giving. So we're going to do a little thing different. We're going to bring her back sometime this year to do a boot camp and have it for a couple of days, at least 2-3 days. And we're going to have her literally talking about day trading from the beginning to the end to get to the whole process from essence. Because we realize that is the next place people need to be involved in. Not only day trading, but cryptocurrency. That's the next big thing. You see our president, he's pushing crypto. So I'll leave it there.
Our president?
Listen,
MJ.
I'm sorry.
But you're absolutely correct.
Is now moving along that path. I don't, I'm
gonna give y'all some personal info as well. Because I like I told you, I'm into the day trading, and when the election was over and the inauguration was getting ready to start, I did invest in some cryptocurrency. I already had some, but I called MJ. No, listen, I called everybody that I knew, and I was like, "Look, do you trade? You got I think you need to put some money in here." Because I feel like that's wealth that we need to share with each other.
Yes.
I don't know.
I remember there's a particular coin that was going very crazy when they announced it, and a lot of people, I was told, became overnight
millionaires.
Millionaires.
Unfortunately, that's not the coin that I did. But hey, but I chose another one that also did well. So
yes,
it didn't make me rich enough to quit, but hey, I'm still watching it.
You can't quit.
Yeah, never.
It's your purpose and passion.
But honestly, Glenn, we really appreciate what you're doing because you're very intentional. You're a hard worker. You've been even going around to different ministries and organizations. Tell us about that.
Yes, so we started off this year doing the Legacy Tour. We went to a particular conference this year called Faith and Finances at Mount Hermon Church, and I was one of the facilitators who spoke about generational wealth and also the financial trauma. Now, this is something that I've never discussed or heard about up until a few weeks ago when I was speaking to a therapist, and she said, "Glenn, a lot of us, especially in our community, we face financial trauma." I'm like, "Well, what is that?" And when she broke it down for me about how our parents may have told us certain things, we don't have it, or they say certain things with their mouth because of frustration, then we come into a new level now that we now become parents. We pass on the exact same words that are word curses, or we pass on ideologies of thought patterns that now triggers and formulates the next generation. Like, why would you tell, like, when, example, she gives an example of this where you go to the store, and we all know this. When you go in the store, don't ask for nothing, don't do this. Where's that coming from? A place of lack. But we're telling our kids today that we can afford it, but we're still telling them also our mindset we don't. So the mindset of scarcity is still traveling through all generations. It's not a bad thing to say you can't have it right now, but when you have that mindset of scarcity traveling through and you're still teaching your next generation about scarcity, that's a problem of financial trauma.
Right.
It goes deep when you think about all the traumatic things that we go through from financial trauma.
You're absolutely right. Go ahead, MJ.
No, I was like, it now has a name. Now I know what I have. Financial trauma.
Financial trauma. But
That's
you know
what
what
it
I
is.
was going to say, we have to detox ourselves. I remember a long time ago, I was saying that, oh, I'm broke. But I'm telling you, literally, God spoke to me and said, don't ever say that again. Right. And so I'm no matter how low my bank account gets, or I feel like I don't have what I need, I will never speak I am broke. I said to myself, I will never be broke another day in my life. And I meant that. I will never be broke another day in my life. And I kept saying that. And And anytime I hear people say it, I say, no, don't speak that. You may not have what you want right now, but never speak that you're broke.
Yeah.
You have to speak life. You have to speak it even into your finances. You have to speak it. Even when you don't see it, you have to speak it. Your words have
I
power.
once heard someone say, one person told me one time, instead of saying I'm broke, my account currently is on pause.
Right.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. All right. Well, I'm on pause because I need to move some
my
stuff
bank account
around.
is currently in pause until further
Gotta
notice.
shift some things around.
I had to shift some stuff around.
Yeah. So, but these types of summits have taught me, tools, have given me tools and resources and tips on, how to maneuver, what to say. And I took those things to heart to see it manifesting now, and that's why I commend you, and we support you and we back you, Glenn, because we see the passion in what you're doing and why you do it, because you want our culture, not only our culture, but you want everyone to prosper. But the lack of teaching and education and grasping in our culture is at a higher rate, right?
Yes.
Even if they may see the cost of this, they're like, what? But if you invest in shoes, if you invest in other things that's not going to regenerate wealth or bring back money, you need to put it somewhere where you can learn how to do it. It was MJ was like what Pastor Mark said, like,
Right.
I can give you the fish, right? But if I teach you how to fish, you can catch your own. And then if I show you how to build the land, you can leave a legacy for your family. Or if I show you how to build the well or the pond, you can leave a legacy for your family. But if we make people enablers, right, they're going to continuously come back and ask for more.
Exactly. This is one of the reasons why we decided to target the kids right now. I hate using the word kids, but the youth right now. So the typical age range that we're looking for, however, I've come to realize from a few workshops we've been before, events that we've done, we say 13 to 19, but I've seen some 10-year-olds who are way advanced and more mature than a 13-year-old. So
Absolutely.
If a parent wants to bring a child and the child is extremely mature and has the understanding to do this, they are welcome to come, even though they don't meet the age limit, because we are looking to really impact them. One of my board members, her son, I think, is like 7 or 8. but his mindset is already 12. He's already investing his money. He's already watching his pennies, watching his nickels and dimes. He's already thinking about watching his mom and dad in real estate and how they do business and say, I want to do this. And he's already saying, Mom, hold on, I can't Mom, don't buy me no Chick-fil-A. I got this. I've already saved my money and I'm gonna buy my Chick-fil-A. And he pulls his wallet and he counts his money and says, there you go, ma'am, I have my change, please. He's asking me my change, please. No tip for you today. Chick-fil-A, my money, put back in his pocket, and he walks to the door because his mind is already in a mindset of wealth generation.
Awesome.
Saving his money, not squandering it. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Glenn. Go ahead, MJ. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted him to kind of expound upon a little bit some of the obstacles that he's faced in trying to present this to our people, as far as getting them on board with the knowledge of the generational wealth. What were some of the challenges that you faced?
Wait, Glenn, before you answer, and even dispel some of the myths that you heard that created these challenges.
I'm a life insurance agent as well. So one people always say, I'm not about to go get a policy to go die now, because people think when you get a life insurance policy today, you're gonna die for some crazy reason, and nobody gonna get my money to spend my hard-earned money. But that's what it's there for, to pass on to your next generation so that they can live better than where you are. My mama told me when I was younger, I want you to supersede me in every way possible.
Absolutely.
She had a high school diploma. I had to get a college degree. Today, I'm now in my third degree to make sure that she's proud that I'm progressed. That when my children come, they have to have a doctorate degree. They have to be successful. They have to. When I say have to, it means I want them to follow in the shoes and even supersede me. My children should become next president of the United States of America, for example. They must be a senator. They must be advanced in where I have made it. And I'm supposed to be the stepping stone, or the step for them to step upon my back or what I've accomplished, that they can then go further. So when I hear the different things that people saying, oh, generational wealth, that sounds like a get-rich scheme by event, or they may say, well, it sounds too good to be true. Us black folks, we can't make it like the white folks, or this person may not make it. They have these misconceptions of generational wealth is not for us. But when you look back at the Black Wall Street and back in the 60s, and those way back when, before I was long even conceived or thought of being born, blacks thought about wealth and they actually were wealthy.
Yeah.
Do you know by the year 2053 that the black race will be in the negative in assets and in terms of wealth? We'll be negative. Right now we are at this level. Imagine being negative. How much lower can you go than negative? But yet we don't want to change the trajectory. I know it sounds kind of crazy when I say it, but if we don't wake up now, that's why this year's theme, God had me change it last minute to Chain Breakers Arise. Because he was trying to wake up my people to rise up now, because the clock is ticking. We see how the economy, the world we live in now, the new government we have, how things are shifting rapidly. Is it for our good? I can't say yes. I can't say no, but we can feel the temperature in the country right now, even outside internationally, looking in us saying, well, what's going on over there? The world itself is shifting. Do we think that we are in a position to withstand what we're about to walk into? We are still living as if there's a tomorrow financially. We got to think as if today is our last day to make an impression on our legacy. We can't just say, I got 5 more years to start saving money. I'll wait till next one, start saving. No, you got to start saving today, because one thing you got to understand, time gives you compound interest. The more time you have, you can invest more. If you wait till you're older, 50, 60, and start saying, let me start saving for retirement now, you're not going to have much to retire by. You got to start as soon as possible. So this event is meant to catapult you, teach you, walk you through the steps, and really help you to build generational wealth and to become what I call a generational chain breaker. We actually completed an 8-day Chainbreaker Fast last week, and the topics were all geared about breaking the chains of stigma, breaking chains of poor mindset, breaking chains of poor planning for our lives, and really fine-tuning who we are and what we are supposed to do as a people, a nation. This is not a black event, not a white event, Hispanic event. It's an event for all creed, nation, tongue. I remember when MJ walked in, he saw people every culture there, black, white, Hispanic, everything,
Absolutely.
Asian.
Yes.
It's not for black people only, it's for everybody. It's the point where when we have our panel discussion at the Rise Up event, it's not called the state of black generational wealth. It's called the state of generational wealth for a reason, because generational wealth is important. We have to really stop planning. The Bible says plain out, we must leave a generational blessing for our children's children. The Jewish families do it. Why do we not do it? If you go back, and I even heard someone told me, even in African culture, they do pass on legacy. What happened to us on this side of the world, the Western side of it? There's been a breach that we have to get back to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's why I said at the beginning, I don't know where that break came within the generations. And I'm glad that you brought up the Black Wall Street and all of that, because that's what our culture believed at one point. But there has definitely been a breaking. And I know that you had to go through so many challenges to dispel all those myths, and you stay consistent. Go ahead, MJ.
There are many times I wanted to quit, and certain people says, "You're not going to quit. You can't quit." And about 2 years ago, I was asking God, "Well, God, why am I here? What am I supposed to do in my life?" I'm now trying to figure out my own life and self. And it's like he was telling me, "I called you to be a generational chain breaker." That's why my title says Chief Generational Chain Breaker. From my event in the last 3 years, the theme was generational chain breaker in 2023. And since that time, we have actually generated over 25 generational chain breakers. Some of them today have already paid off debt. Some of them have actually started to invest for their grandchildren. Some of them, you met one guy last year, the guy who actually wrote the song, the theme song that when you open up, Generational Chain Breaker.
Right.
His back, he was incarcerated, got released, came to Rise with the World Summit 2 years ago, and his life got totally transformed. Today, he's back in his music. He's now at the top of the charts in local music here in South Florida, traveling around the country. That's the kind of influence. He is one of our generational chain breakers. He has turned his life around. He's actually investing, saving, taking care of his younger son. Things that it doesn't mean only wealth. It's a 360. Health, wealth, mindset, everything. It's all about that.
Just imagine if just that part of our life, if we get that situated, how much it would affect other parts of our lives, like our health, like our mindset, you know. Yeah. But sometimes we have to look at ourselves. MJ, you remember when we were sitting there, and then after it was over, it's like, oh God, we got to start all over. We need to do something about our life. Seriously. Yeah. I mean, every speaker hit on something that we actually could apply to our life and our situation. And just thinking of the gifts that we have in our hands, and how a lot of times we don't know what to do with it, or we're not doing the right thing with it. All I know is when MJ and I left, even my husband, it was like, we got to go back to the drawing board. We really do. Because when you think you got it, you ain't got it. You ain't got it. And it was definitely an eye opener for us. It was empowerment. I would say it was empowerment. Like, I couldn't shake it for like a whole week and a half. We talked about it.
I think it was a little longer than that.
I'm telling you. MJ called me and said, "Hey Glenn, who's that person who spoke about this again? Because I need to call her, get my life together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It continued to go on. All right, family, if you're just tuning in, it is Conversations with Them Two. It's yours truly, MJ, and she is
Lady Des.
And we are talking about the Rise Up Wealth Summit, where we are breaking generational curses and we are making sure that there is generational wealth with none other than the chief generational chain broker himself, Mr. Glenn Payne. So now we've talked a lot about, what it is that we're doing and how to get there. The most important thing is we need to tell the people when this is happening and how they can become a part. So Glenn, take it away.
It's kind of funny. I just put in the chat.
I know, I saw that.
This event is taking place April 26th. Yeah. April 26th. I don't know if you have the flyer up, Des, but I sent to you. So the event is taking place April 26th, downtown Fort Lauderdale, off of Broward, downtown Broward Boulevard. It's going to be between, doors open at 9 o'clock. Now, if you are VIP, you want to arrive early, because if you're VIP, you'll be served a continental style upscale breakfast. Right after that, you will have mocktails. Right after, and then after you walk into the main area, lunch is provided to you. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere overall. Listen, there's a big joke behind the event as of last year. Lady Des apparently walked out and left her second sharing of lunch behind, and she was cussing all the way to Miami. Now, that should tell you how good the food was, that she was cussing all the way to Miami when she realized her food was not in her backseat of the car.
I was upset. I had plans for that food. I literally had plans for the food. I couldn't believe I left it.
She had plans to develop that food part too.
Yes.
But when I say, listen, the food we serve is not no sandwiches. We serve hot food. Some of the items we have done in the past was actually the Haitian black rice. We've done mac and cheese. We've actually done salad. We've done desserts from our dessert person that's there. We serve a full course meal from salad all the way to desserts with drinks. This year for the VIP, we're doing mocktails. We're doing a mocktail session. We have a cocktail area. We're gonna be serving shrimp and grits and all that wonderful stuff. Things to maybe make your event elevated. And it's not just about the food, but it's also during that time you get to meet the speakers and ask them questions even before they even speak or after they speak. Where do you get an opportunity to go to an expert and ask them questions without being billed? You're paying one price for an entire day event of park. You get parking covered, you get your workbook, you get your swag bag, you get your gifts and treats. You still get to access all four speakers, a panel discussion, and still go afterwards and ask them questions about investing, about wills and trust, and without even being charged an extra penny. Now, if you went to them after the event, like in personal settings, they're going to bill you. This is not an event you want to miss because you have the access to these speakers. All these speakers are personally my friends that I've grown acquainted with and built a circle of wealth around them, that they come to the event to share, impact, and impact your life. You don't want to miss this at all. Listen, I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah,
because I want to change my life.
This is definitely an event that you don't want to miss. The information, like Glenn said, there is a price for it, but it is definitely invaluable because what you're learning and what you're taking away from the Rise Up Summit is something that's going to continue to grow and go on for years and years and years. And, this is one of those events. I remember last year after he was like, okay, well, MJ, what price tag would you put on it? I was like, man, I couldn't even pay you enough, because the information was just that valuable. Everything from starting with stocks, starting with life insurance, also talking to people who had been on the wrong side of the law, instructing them on how to get back on the right track and how to become millionaires. This is stuff that, they don't want us to know.
And you know what, MJ,
All in
also,
one room.
right. And also our thought process, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
how we think of ourselves and
Right.
how others see us, and how we accept a lot of times the negativity. Oh, I heard you start your little business or your little, and he was saying when they say little, it's something big in their eyesight, but they're trying to demote or downgrade what you're actually doing. So it's just even how you see yourself, your whole thought process. I mean, the lineup was excellent. Excellent.
Right.
It's like it was like a segue, right? For us to receive what was coming after it.
Right.
And everyone, I mean, when I say top tier speakers that are actually, if you look these people up, I'm telling you, their resume, their following shows exactly what they're doing and how accomplished they are. And go ahead,
and not only that, Des, they were so transparent and so
yes,
open and humble with what it was that they were telling you. And like Glenn said, in the middle of having a light lunch, they still took the time to have the conversation and say, okay, this is what I need to do and give it all to you in this amount of time. So you're gonna have to make an appointment. This, that, and the other, and that's what took place at the Rise Up Summit. I'm going to jump over Garcia. She says, the kept secrets are now revealed for our future generations. And that's exactly what the Rise Up Wealth Summit is doing, revealing the secrets for future generations so that the generational wealth can go on and continue and continue and continue.
And you know what, MJ, you talked about the transparency that the speakers were sharing. And one of the testimonies that stood out to me the most, I believe her name was Brianna Anderson.
Yes.
Where she didn't even complete high school. And she's a six-figure earner, and she learned credit, right? She's helping others how to restore the credit. And I think it's her son, if I'm not mistaken. Her son is the one that's the entrepreneur that owns the houses, that has the clothing line. Not only did she keep it to herself, she shared this information with her children. Her husband is involved. It's like this whole family affair. And that stood out to me. It was like, no matter where you come from or how low you think you are, there is still opportunity. It's all up to you to make that decision to say, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to get up. I'm going to rise up. I'm going to step up and do what I got to do that I may achieve. Nothing could hold me back. And Glenn, I just appreciate the intentional choosing of each speaker, because everybody was able, I'm pretty sure there was something everybody was able to relate to.
Yeah, and Des, let me just say, when it comes to Glenn and the intentional scheduling of the guests, I personally know that he goes through a process of prayer that leads him to each and every person that is placed upon that stage. Now, he'll have to tell you about the process, but I know it's a process of prayer that he goes through.
It's funny you're saying that because one of my speakers I had placed in there because I saw a demand for certain things. And while at the event I was speaking at recently, God started pricking my heart, say, well, did I tell you to use that person in the first place? I said, huh? Did I tell you that I wanted that person? Did I not tell you I want to follow my blueprint? I'm like, what are you talking about? I did what you... Yeah, but I gave you a blueprint. Don't go left or go right. Follow that blueprint. And the blueprint was basically bringing back one of our old speakers, which you can remember, Denzel Rodriguez, the young kid that we had last time. Denzel is back this year. We have attorney Tamar. You met her last year in a panel discussion. Genevieve Carvel Harris is speaking this year for the first time, and she's been with us for 4 years. But she's always been behind the scenes working. And then we had Adana Bell. She's a therapist. She's going to be the one talking about financial trauma and also about imposter syndrome. How we
I need a private session with her.
And then for the kids, I like to bring the kids up because this is where we have three. There's actually a fourth person that may be joining the kids. But as of now, we have Shakira Ginger Quittain. She is a 6-figure earner teaching your children. She comes from a family of legacy of real estate developers that before she was even a teenager, she already owned homes. She's similar to Brianna's son, where she is given the tools and trained and taught how to do certain things that now that's a 7-year-old I was talking about who's now think he's 12 years old, so mature. She is a realtor that's going to be teaching the kids about real estate, how it works, how to get involved, things of nature. We have LaShandra Johnson, also known as the Pitch Queen. She be coming to the kids, teaching them how to pitch their business ideas to get money. You can say, I want to start a business, but if you don't know how to pitch your business to investors or banks or people who can fund your dream, it won't be successful. And also, she's going to spin on that one in terms of how to build your esteem, how to build your self-confidence, how to speak with eloquence so that people can actually see you, respect you, and hear you. And then last but not least, Danielle Williams. He's actually our board member, the director of youth affairs. He's going to be talking about entrepreneurship and finances. And we have a fourth person that's joining on shortly that is actually a certified financial trainer dealing with children. We are bringing the people to help your next generation and you to truly rise up and break the chains and be the next best person you could think about to leave a legacy. We are not here to play.
And then if that ain't enough for you, if that's not enough, then we have this great big illustrious award ceremony that's taking place where you are honoring wonderful people in the community. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're actually honoring MJ Smith this year. Last year was Lady Des. This year is MJ Smith. See, MJ Smith did that as a segment to say, hey, me, I'm being honored. So MJ,
it's well deserved, though. Yeah. It is well deserved. I know he talked bad about me, but
this is all about what you can definitely talk about. This is your bestie. This is the one that, you know, been there, ride or die with you. So go
absolutely. Ahead. And like I was telling you behind the scenes, Glenn, people don't know how passionate MJ really is about the community. What he does as a job is his passion because he knows how it affects the community. He loves to uplift people. Whatever he can do to lend a helping hand, MJ is going to be there. He's going to do it. We've worked the community outreach together on so many different occasions. And I know I tease him a lot about it, but you know, it gives me pleasure and joy to see the smiles that come over the people's faces, you know, just for the hugs, just hearing him talk, you know, how it draws a crowd and how they're just uplifted and they want to touch him and they want to hug him, and he's giving and he's taking and he's giving and he's taking. So
hold on. I never got a hug from MJ. How is that possible?
Let me tell you, he give them away like bread.
I never got a high five, never got, bro, I love you, never got a hug. I never got nothing from MJ.
Wow.
Well, you're the brand new bestie, so watch out. It's on the way.
Listen, he give them out like hotcakes, I tell you. But you can't hold the people back from him. So it's they love him. They love MJ. They love what he's about. They love what he's been doing. He's been doing radio for over 30 years, impacting people's lives. And just to see him, they are so happy. They are so happy. And he's intentional about shaking everybody's hand. Now, when he's on his private, he's on his private side, and he he becomes a total introvert. But when he's out there in the community, he gives so much love and respect. The children even love him. The children will come running to him. They may not even know who he is, but he's like a people's magnet, a children's magnet. They love MJ.
It's kind of funny because I will say this, and it's going to sound kind of funny. Even Chat GTP likes MJ. I did a Chat GTP at MJ, and Chat GTP wrote and pulled up an entire on MJ. I even found out what MJ stands for, but I'm not going to say on live radio. but listen, Chat GTP knew his actual name. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, listen, when you called and we were on the line, we were like, what? He called MJ by his government name. MJ said, I know you didn't.
So trust me, that's how well and famous this man is. He is known even in Chat GTP world that they will know him by just typing his name in, but don't do it now, ladies and gentlemen. Just don't do it.
Glenn, what I sent you was just the condensed version.
Oh, I saw it.
Of MJ's resume, bio.
And MJ, guess what happened? Chat GTP crashed when I upload your bio.
But when I first saw his regular bio, I'm like, what am I gonna do with this scroll? What are you doing? You did all of this? I mean, he had it from A to Z.
Listen,
he has an honorary doctorate. He's actually Dr. MJ Smith, but people don't know that.
I'm telling you, and I'm not even exaggerating. Listen, I was at we were at this concert together with what's his name, MJ? Oh gosh. Everybody knows him. Everybody know who I'm talking about.
He's like, which concert? I've been like 100 concerts.
I know.
I know exactly the story she's talking about. She's talking about Travis Green.
Yeah, Travis Green. After the concert, you know how they're out shaking hands and everything, and it had to be like a zillion people surrounding Travis Green, right? So me and MJ walks up. We're busting through the crowd like the lady with the issue of blood who just needed to touch the hem of his garment. So we're busting through the crowd, and MJ reaches his hand over, looked like hundreds of people, just reaches his hand, and he said, "Hey, Travis." And Travis heard him, and he looked up. He said, "MJ, what's up, man?" Forget everybody else. It was all about MJ. And that's when I knew my bestie was the it. You hear me? I was like, listen, when Travis Green stopped the crowd to say, "Hey, MJ, what's up?" Like, he was literally happy to see him there. So, you know, it just shows, when I tell you everybody loves MJ, everybody loves MJ.
Well, let me just say, Glenn, first of all, thank you and the foundation, because like Dad says, I really take what it is that I do serious. People's lives kind of hang on what it is that we say and do. And I try to make sure that, you know, when I walk out my door, that I'm displaying, you know, something that people can look up to, something that people can be proud of. And I literally live every day just trying to do that. When I first reached out to my mentor who taught me radio, I was advised, before I take my career and bring you into it, I want you to know that this is my life. And I want you to know that this is something that I take seriously. And if I'm going to teach you this, the next person that walks up to you and asks you, you have to pass it on. So it's been something that I've been doing, you know, selflessly for years. And I take pride in what it is that I do, because it could have been anybody else, but I've been blessed to have a little platform. And when I say little, I don't take it lightly, because I have no idea of the people that I affect. I just know that I have to be that person, you know, like Des says, I will stop and talk to you. I'll stop and I'll give you a hug because I don't know what effect or how your day is going. And it's just that can stop somebody from committing suicide or putting a smile on somebody's face. And, you know, I'll never forget, it was one of my first nights at WMBM, and I was saying goodbye to a lady, and she called and she said, you know, it's because of you. I didn't commit suicide. And it's stuff like that, you know, you begin to realize the effect that you have on people. So I don't take this award lightly. I don't take my job lightly. I don't take meeting people lightly. I do what I do because God has allowed me to do it. And I just try to make sure that you see the love of God in me come out through what it is that I do. So thank you once again. And I definitely appreciate it. And I do not take it lightly. And my resume might be 3 pages long, but hey, I worked hard for it.
And I will say this on radio, that last year when I was going through a tough time, because this event, I realized is no longer an event. I think I told MJ that, and he said, yeah, I agree. This is not a production. This ain't no conference or summit. This is a full-blown production. And it takes a toll when you're the visionary. You have a team behind you, but when God is downloading stuff to you and telling you to do this, do that, and then you have a passion, and if you want to call it the mantle to carry this out, and it seems heavier and heavier every time, because as he entrusts you with one thing, he gives you another level to carry out. Last year, I was going through a tough time mentally because I was drained and I was frustrated with the event, and I was depressed. And I happened to see a light pop on my screen, was MJ and the Dez, and he was talking, and he was saying something that made me laugh, and I haven't laughed all week. Wow. And I was so down and depressed. I was like, God, I can't do this no more. And I was actually going to tell the team, this is the last Rise Up Summit. Like, we're done. Clock out. I can't do this no more. And he started to make me laugh. And afterwards, he said something that was so profound about living intentionally on your purpose, because we're not the ones who decide what we're going to do. We weren't born. We were born with a purpose, and we have to fulfill it. And that's when God started telling me, wealth and riches are in your hand. What will you do with it? Either you're going to open it and use it or die with it. And the analogy came back when a baby is born, his hands come in the world, they're clasped shut because they're carrying all the potential, the wealth, the riches, the power, whatever God has given us to do. But when a man dies, his hands open wide because he's all empty. And when Andrew kept talking about, all I kept hearing in my head was live full, die empty. Live full, die empty. Don't quit. Don't quit. God got you. God got you. Don't quit. Don't give up. But he never knew this until today when I'm telling him now. Don't cry now, MJ. But seriously, those are things that people who do this kind of work, they don't know what's happening behind the scenes because no one's going to talk. They're quiet. But MJ is there talking, not knowing who's hearing him on the other side. He's on a radio station talking, or he's in a live like this talking, but he can't see who's hurting. He can't see who's going to stress. You just never know the impact. That's why MJ is being given the Impact of Excellence Award. Like, just came to me, Lady Des. Impact of Excellence Award. I love it. Literally. The Impact of Excellence, because he walks in a spirit of excellence, humble. He is super humble, but yet his impact is like a giant.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And like I told you, Glenn, I've seen this firsthand of how the people are impacted by whatever it is MJ is doing, whether he's being serious, whether he's on the silly side. It is making a positive impact to give others the strength to continue to carry on. And it's just a natural gift from God. When he opens up his mouth, it just compels people to listen to what he has to say. And people don't know when he gets all passionate, y'all have to see him in the studio. He's standing up, He's making his point. But I mean, and I told him this too. I love to see him in that capacity as well, because that's more of the spiritual side that is coming out, and it's something that's very deep to him, that it's like, hey, I want you to get this. This is what I'm talking about. This is where I've been. This is what I've dealt with, and I need you to get it. Sometimes even with me, as his mentee, right? He says I'm too nice, or I'm too naive sometimes. But I give people, a little bit more leeway than what MJ would. What MJ would. However, sometimes I know he just want to shake me like, stop, please. You're giving it to the wrong people, right? So, but I understand where he's coming from. I understand his passion. And the Impact of Excellence Award, you definitely picked the right candidate for it. And he's going to take this award, and he's going to continue to build and impact and pour in. I don't want my bestie to die, but when he dies, if he leave this world, I believe he's going to leave empty.
Listen, this man's already half empty, and he's still being filled up every day. The more he pours out, the more he gets filled back in.
Absolutely. Yes. And, just sitting here and just having this conversation about wealth and building generational wealth, and just the rise up itself, I am just compelled to tell the people to rise up, change your mindset about how you see yourself, how you see your family, how you see your culture. You can be the change that you want to see in this world. Stop borrowing and telling people you're going to pay them back, and then you get missing. No, Stop doing it.
Limiting mindset.
Stop making excuses. Stop doing all of this crazy stuff. It's time to rise up. It's time to step up. It's time to get up. Get up. I don't care what you've done before in your past and how you maneuver. You have so many people that's manipulating the system, right? That's manipulating others to get what they need or what they want. Learn how to get it on your own. There are so many people with so many gifts and so many talents that they have. And I believe you said it, Glenn, wealth is in your hands. God has given us all a measure to live this life abundantly. There is no excuse.
Yes.
There is no excuse. We need to tap into summits like Rise Up Wealth Summit, Legacy Lives Here, that can channel and empower and inspire and to teach, educate people how to have and to maintain generational wealth.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I'm about to tell them how to do it. On April the 26th, what you can do right now is visit www.riseupwealthsummit.com. All the information that you need is there. Ticket prices, the address, the time, the date. Come as you are. We just want you in the building. Besides, I want you to come celebrate with me, because it's really going to be a party. I'm not the only honoree, but all of the honorees, we're going to have a good time, and we want you to come out and celebrate with us, celebrate with the chief generational chain breaker himself. Watch me give him a hug on stage. It's going down on April the 26th. So make sure you visit riseupwealthsummit.com. I got to give him a hug. I got to give Miss Alphesia Payne a hug. I'm just giving out hugs all day, every day that day.
So he's not the only radio personality that's being awarded this year. We got another big one in Miami, Stitches.
Woo!
Right.
Yeah.
Stitches. So Stitches is the Iconic Woman of the Year. That's what she's receiving this year, the Iconic Woman of the Year. That's the first ever we're doing this award, because after God literally, he wasn't joking, God literally said, Stitches. I've never known Stitches before in my life, never met her, never heard of her. But he says Stitches. I'm like, go look for her. So I went looking for her, found her online, and started watching her. And like, whoa, she is incredible. Yeah. And he says, you need to call her, because she needs to be part of your event. And I don't know nothing. I don't know price. I don't know nothing. I went to an event she was actually doing for the youth. And when I sat there and watched her interact and the energy that exuded from her body regarding and she's a woman of faith. She is MJ's twin. They mean they will awesome. Literally pray down heaven, cast out spirits and demons, meaning they are faith plus radio plus fun.
That's what's
and
up.
Community mixed together. This is that whole blend. So I can't wait to see MJ and Stitches connect on stage and just share that stage together because they are gonna tow it up.
Listen, it's gonna be a ball of fun.
It'll tell you what's going to happen.
That's exactly who they are. And congratulations to the both of them. Stitches is always on the scene. We have been to many different events, and Stitches is there, wowing the crowd, doing what she does. And I love her. Yeah. So congratulations to Stitches. Congratulations to all of the honorees. I believe Dr. Fabiola Richardson is being honored as well. She's another phenomenal person that is always giving. She has the bereaved moms. There are so many different others that you're honoring. And Glenn, I love that because these are people in our community that may not be on television, that may not be aired over the radio, that may not even be constantly on social media, but they're definitely making an impact in our community. They're definitely making waves and sounds and all of that in the community in a positive way. And if they would be missing from our community would not know what to do, honestly, because they're just that impactful and they work in the spirit of excellence, and they're not broadcasting everything that they do. They're blessing families. They're blessing lives. So I believe that this is definitely sent from God. So thank you for all you're doing.
Most definitely, thank you.
Joy is in the chat. Joy Riley is in the chat. She says, yes, even in the midst of his own tests and adversity, God gives him the tenacity to push through, to be blessed, to be a blessing to the world around him. That's towards MJ. And it's true. People don't know, like MJ and I, we share, and even with Joy, we share some of our most intimate moments, tears and everything, and people don't know what the announcers or personalities, even people that are in public, that's a public figure, go through, but we still have a job to do. God has given us a task to be able to, to reach our community. And regardless of what we're going through, listen, we have to have a community of people we can cry it out, fight it out, yell it out. And then we got to wipe those tears and we got to get back out there and act like if nothing has ever happened. But we have to take those moments. And a lot of times when we're encouraging others, we're being encouraged ourselves.
Where is Joe Riley located? Joy Riley, should say.
She's in Atlanta, Georgia now.
Right now she's in the ATL. But that's okay. She flies back like every 2 weeks, so she got a
I keep saying Joe Riley. I don't know if they're related.
Yes, actually, they found out a little down the line they are related. Yeah. But
they're like 15 cousins, but they're related.
Yeah. They're related.
But I want to say,
he's also saying we can have good success, which is true.
Definitely. Because I was going to say, thank you so much to Lady Des and MJ Smith, because they know this is not easy doing Rise Up. And they've always got my back, always pushing, always supporting. And MJ beats me, says, you're not going to quit. I ain't going to let you quit. You're my bestie. And when you fall down, call me. I'll pick you back up. But he's always pushing me and telling me, hey, you got this. God got you. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Lady Des.
Absolutely welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Lady Des praise people through the storm when you need it. And then beat the tambourine afterwards.
Yeah, and beat the tambourine afterwards. That's right. That's right. We need each other. We need each other, and God always sends us the right people. And when he does that, I don't take it for granted. My circle, my community of people that he has placed in our lives. And Glenn, you have shown nothing but love towards us as well.
From day one.
I'm telling you, your support, your laughter, your calls, all of that. We may not answer right away. We may not answer right away.
That's okay, because if he don't get you, he called me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I appreciate, and you were one that I never thought was even watching at all. Going back even to last year when I was honored, that thing wiped me out. Almost.
Listen, I still laugh at the day when I called and she said, "Who's this? The voice of God calling me." And then MJ made her had a heart attack thinking someone's on the phone.
Something happened to him.
And he's like, come now. There's a
MJ
call.
just went through an ordeal, right? And he came running to my desk, was like, "You got to come here now." And his eyes were big, and I'm like, "MJ, what's going on with you?" And then he just like, she's here. But
it worked. I got you in the studio.
It did work after you almost gave me a heart attack, but it did work. And it just shows you, people watch your movement. People watch how you treat others. People watch your conversation. So, all of that means a lot to me. And I just want to thank you.
I did what I was instructed to do. I was told to go.
Well, MJ, so what happened was, MJ, I was always watching you from a distance, but I was waiting for the right time of season. And then when I called Lady Des, I'm thinking about a particular person. What do you think? She's got her tambourine and stopped being say, "I nominate MJ Smith, my mentee, my bestie, my buddy, my pal."
You're not supposed to tell that, Glenn.
It's too late now. It's already out. No, but I'm being honest.
Stop him up. He's leaking.
Now is the time to really tell it, because he needs to hear that his impact reaches deep and wide. That your bestie, your mentee says, "I fully put my name behind it to say
Absolutely.
MJ is it."
Absolutely.
And just to know that your impact reaches your co-workers, no matter where you are, sir, you. In other words, I heard from my therapist. She said, "I see you, I hear you, and I value you."
That's it.
Every man needs to hear those 3 words. I hear you, I see you, and I value you, sir. Your living is not in vain. You are definitely here as a gift to this world, to South Florida and beyond. And if your cousin on here right now, she probably say, "Yeah, that's right."
Oh yeah, listen, she supports him 150. I may be at 110, but that Anita Hill is 150. All for MJ, right or wrong.
And so I definitely
put that one in your hand, sir, because you are because your designation is the first ever.
Wow.
Designation ever given. The others are the ones we've done in the past, like Generational Chain Breaker. We have Claudine Hibbert Smith, Iconic Woman, first ever. Community Pillars, that's what happened before. We had a few people in the community, and Trailblazer, same thing. Disruptor, same thing before. But you're one of the few that actually had a designation made just for your name. So when the next one comes about, you'll be on stage presenting that award to them, passing on the torch.
Wow.
That's what's up.
That's definitely an honor. And like I said, I do not take what I do lightly, and I do not take the shine that God has put upon me to spread to others lightly. So all I can say is thank you, and I'm definitely full. I really am.
That's good, sir.
You deserve it, bestie. You do.
Listen, y'all ain't about to make me cry. Rise Up Summit.
Joy Riley for your bestie buddy now.
Yeah, Joy Riley said that is huge. Congrats, bestie buddy. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say, Glenn, but thank you. And people just don't know the backstory a lot of times, and the things that we go through and what we do, privately. So this honor to MJ is absolutely, absolutely hands down. Glenn, he won't disappoint you. He won't disappoint this community. And if it wasn't so, I would have never said so.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, I endorse, I approve this message, definitely.
Once again, family, we want you guys to join us on April the 26th. Visit www.riseupwealthsummit.com. All of the information that you need is there. Get your tickets. Come celebrate with us. Come get knowledge about how to make sure your generational wealth continues for years and years and years to come. We look forward to seeing you guys there. Listen, I don't know what else to say besides I think we've done enough.
Exactly, but I'm gonna drop one little bomb nugget right here. There's a birthday coming up, and it's the founder's birthday. And every year at the founder's birthday, there is a drop of a certain number based on the age of the nonprofit founder, a discount off tickets. So if you buy a ticket tonight, it's great. But if you buy a ticket on March 1st, within 24 hours, you are getting a discount off that ticket. The code will be dropped the stroke of midnight on the 30th, whatever the last day of February into March midnight. Once that code drops and expires, there will be another code given specifically for this live conversations with them too, but it'd be a less rate. But I'm telling you, either which way you look at it, you don't buy a ticket, you're gonna lose out on your next level. Listen, we always use the word next level, but really and truly, Rise Up is truly to take you to the next level. You don't want to miss that opportunity.
Absolutely. It's time to rise up and level up, and you can do that by visiting riseupwealthsummit.com. I say get your tickets now, but the man himself, the chief generational chain breaker, says wait until March the 1st for an additional discount. Listen, whether you get your tickets today, whether you get your tickets March the 1st, we want you in the house to celebrate with us. Glenn, once again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you, sir. And it's good to be seen. And, Des, thank you for just being who you are and allowing me to shine the little bit of knowledge that I do have. I say thank you. And I guess we can do this again next Monday night, right?
We will. However, Glenn, before we go out, I want you to give everybody the information about if they want to donate, the Amazon where they can buy and purchase. Also, give them the information about the sponsors. You have some major sponsors that are helping out with this, that is helping out with this event, that is seeing your vision. So just shout out your sponsors and give them the information about the Amazon.
Okay. So I can definitely share the Amazon link in the chat. Well, in the video, in the live chat afterwards. On the Amazon on Amazon gift registry for Legacy, we are putting items on there that will help to reduce the cost of the lunch sessions and things of nature. Outside of that, we are still looking for sponsors because, as again we mentioned before, as MJ mentioned, this is a huge lift, definitely to provide excellence. When you walk in that room, you're walking into excellence. People think it's a gala. It's literally well orchestrated an event to make you feel comfortable, feel like royalty just for that day. That all takes money. So we have had some successful sponsors that has returned this year, such as Publix, Costco, Albion Ventures, Leap View Group, which is one of our newest sponsors. And she actually heard me speak for about 4 minutes and says, I want to sponsor you. Wow. I like what you're doing. I want to sponsor you. Where do I sign? And there's a few other sponsors right now loading up that we can't mention just yet. But when they do come out, they'll be really big big ones we're hoping to do.
But what was the other one we were speaking about, Glenn? Boss Up?
Boss Up. No, Boss Up is an unofficial sponsor, but they will be most likely the sponsor of the Youth Summit. Boss Up is actually with Wise Intelligent. He is the president of Rap Snacks Boss Up Foundation. We know his passion for the community. We know his involvement is incredible. He's actually one of our honorees as well. His passion for the community is incredible. That's why we definitely picked him for this year's honoree. So definitely right now we're still looking for sponsors for both the adult and children's summit. It's 2 events, 1 day, 1 building. Can't miss that opportunity. Vendors, we're still accepting vendors applications as well. We have a few vendor spots that's still available, and we are definitely looking forward for that. Actually, my wife just dropped in the chat the link for Go Baby Girl, Go Baby Girl. I love you so much.
Thank you, Afisha.
She dropped it in the chat. That is amazing. Thank you, Afisha. That link will take you to the Rise Up Wealth Summit gift registry on Amazon. On there, you can purchase things as low as $30, $20, $15, just to help us make the mission grow. And also we must say this: we are a 501c tax exempt organization. You can definitely use that as well. It goes to good ways. And I will say this as well from my my team: just because you sponsor us doesn't mean it's a one-time event. Your sponsorship runs through the entire year, through not only the summit, but all our events, workshops, and boot camps up until the end of January next year, 2026.
Wow. Awesome.
Yes.
So listen, everybody, the time is way far spent. We went over our time, but I believe that this was something that we had to speak about, that we wanted to bring awareness to, as well as present this to you all. And we also had planned to honor MJ on tonight as well, and to let you all know who he is, what he does in our community, and why he's being honored as the Impact Excellent Award winner, because this is something that is so well deserved. He didn't want us to do it. He knew it was something, but he didn't know to what capacity.
Boo-hoo.
So listen, I want you all to really load his Facebook page with love and congratulations. This is no nomination. He was appointed this award. So it's okay for you to go and congratulate him and just love on him, because listen, you don't know what people are going through, and your kind words will definitely compel them and propel them to continue to do the work that God has given them to do. And Glenn, the same for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being obedient to the voice of God, yourself, your beautiful wife, Afisha, because you all have been consistent over the years. And thank you all so much for thinking of us, to include us, to honor us as well. We thank you all so very much. MJ, it's on you.
All right, family. Well, once again, before we leave you, get your tickets at www.riseupwealthsummit.com. It's happening April the 26th. Come hang out with us. Listen, the food is great. Lady Des left her plate last year. I bet she won't do it this year.
I will not.
They have amazing vendors. So come hang out with us. Definitely www.riseupwealthsummit.com. Family, thank you so much for joining us on this evening. Conversations with them too, as we were speaking with none other than the chief generational chain breaker himself, our very own Glenn Payne. Gotta say thank you also to Miss Althea Payne as well. Can't forget about her. And family, we want you to make sure you join us each and every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. right here as we get conversations with them too. Lady Des, thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome, bestie. And look, thank you to everybody in the chat. It's a whole lot of stuff going on in this chat, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you all.
And don't forget to join us next week. Same time, same place. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
We do this for the generation. The generation. We do this for the generation. The generation. Generation. Breaking chains for the generation. Rise up, we gon' make it happen, just tellin' that time's up. Breaking chains, make a chain while running them bands up. Suit and tie, skew the vibe, depositing grands up. Educating on the millions, come on, let's make a million. We in business buying building, that's how we gon' raise the ceiling. Living legends, what we building. Legacy for our children, did you feel it in your spirit? He's speaking, I know you hear it. Lord, rise up, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Rise up, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Come with me. Chain breakers, we break from poverty. Chain breakers, we break from enemies. Chain breakers, break chains off.